All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 23rd, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. My SPY pivot this morning, 484.05 above it. I'm a bull, below it. I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 produced daily candles that made higher highs and higher lows than the previous day. All 5 closed above the bullish 3/8 trap, above the 17 EMA trend indicator. Gold remains bullish, but has closed the day below the bearish 3/8 trap and underneath the 17 EMA trend indicator. Silver remains bearish in a downtrend, closing another day below the bearish 3/8 trap and below the 17 EMA trend indicator and below the downtrend line. USO is breaking out of the downtrend, closing a daily candle above the bullish 3/8 trap and above the 17 EMA and above the downtrend line. UNG trades a fifth day under the midpoint of the daily uptrend, up down to the 490 level. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, closing 5 days in a row underneath the flat 200 SMA after spiking it. Good morning, Laureen, and good morning, Marley. Let's take a look at some charts. All right, so here we are with SPY, and crunch that down because we don't need that. All right, here's the daily candle, higher low, higher high, and you can see we've got a 6-year resistance line right there, or support line, depending if you're on top or below it. While we're below it, it's going to be resistance. If we're on top of it, it should act as support. So there's price action spiking that 6-year resistance line because we're below it, but we're above the 3/8 trap. So we'll see where we want to pull back to today. A likely pullback location would be the 3 EMA right here, 481.09. All right, but there is support that exists, probably should act as support at the 480 level. We'll see if that's going to hold or if they're going to spike that. And we very well could see ourselves trading up over the resistance line because we are in an uptrend. We'll see how far they want to take it today. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at QQQ. Let's just say all of them are going to look pretty much the same. QQQ closing above the 3/8 trap, higher low, higher high in an uptrend. New all-time highs for QQQ and new all-time highs for SPY. All right, FNGU, not quite the same, okay? New yearly highs for FNGU. Higher low, higher high, closing over the 3/8 trap here. You get the 3 above the 8. That's the 3/8 trap right there, the bullish one. Okay, but the all-time highs for FNGU are way up here around 500. So it's a ways away right now from the all-time highs on FNGU. Now, if they change the components in the FNGU, bear in mind, those highs might not be attainable, or those highs are no longer, those are highs that are going to be different. But we did have looks like 1-for-10 split right here. So we'll see what happens. So there's FNGU. And let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow putting in a new all-time high up here yesterday. Higher low, higher high. And closing over the 3/8 trap. IWM. Closing above the bullish 3/8 trap, actually causing the bullish 3/8 trap right there. Closing over the trend indicator. Higher low and higher high. All right, so we bounced off of minor support. So IWM looks like it could be primed up to go and make a higher high up here. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's IWM. So there's the whole market right there. Let's take a look at a few sectors. SMH, new all-time high for SMH with a higher low, higher high over the 3/8 trap, over the trend indicator. IYT, higher low, higher high, closing up over this pivot, above the 3/8 trap and over the trend indicator, not making new highs, but still bullish nonetheless. XLF. XLF made a new 12-month high. Could have go back further than that. It is a new, looks like all the way back to, looks like April of 2022. So it looks like an all new 20-month high with a higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish 3/8 trap over the trend indicator. So XLF making new highs, SMH making new highs, transports not quite on board yet. All right. So there's a few sectors there. Let's take a look at crude oil. So we'll look at USO. And here's crude oil breaking the downtrend right through here. All right. So closing above the bullish 3/8 trap, above the trend indicator, making a higher low and a higher high. So we got a double bottom over here, a double bottom over here, and it looks like we're poised to go attack these highs that were made earlier in December. So we'll see what happens with that. USO looking like it's ready to put in a new higher high. So we'll see what happens with USO. It's looking good. UNG, on the other hand, is not looking good. All right, so here's UNG. They broke the downtrend right here. All right, and they made a higher low, produced a higher high. Now they're pulling back. This low is in jeopardy of being breached right here. So we'll see what happens there with UNG. Okay, UNG is under the bearish downtrend right here, but it still remains in an uptrend because we haven't broken this low. But let me just say they're underneath the 3/8 trap, the bearish 3/8 trap right here, and underneath the trend indicator. So not looking good for UNG again. UNG is having its struggles this year. Well, excuse me, last year and this year. So there's UNG pulling back. So it's right on minor support, right up here. All right. We break this major support right there, and we're in a downtrend. So there's UNG. Silver and gold. Silver in a downtrend, producing lower high, making lower low right here. All right. So lower high, lower low in a downtrend, closing under the bearish 3/8 trap, underneath the trend indicator, underneath the downtrend line. So not looking good for silver. Also got a head and shoulders forming here. This would be our left shoulder. All of this would be the head, and a right shoulder right there, breaking the neckline and trading further south. Gold. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's kind of hanging in there in the bull flag formation. We got a lower high and a lower low, closing underneath the bearish 3/8 trap, underneath the trend indicator. Still a ways away from breaking this low right here, which could put it in jeopardy of making a downtrend. So if they break that low, we got ourselves a downtrend. Right now, just kind of consolidating over to the right for gold. So now let's go take a look at let's look at our technicals. Technicals, we jumped out. This is yesterday right through here. So we J-hooked out of the chop zone into the buy zone, spent some time, visited the overbought zone, came back to the buy zone and visited the overbought zone one more time. So there's T2122 in the buy zone. T2123 gapped up, green, had a couple of red candles here coming back to the BYOB area and then back up. Looks like it's headed for this falling 200. That's T2123. T2123 3-bar chart. Price action and trend indicator are now in the same location. It looks like price action is going to cross over the trend indicator, making a green trend indicator ball pretty soon here. Probably sometime today if IWM can keep it going. FNGU gaps up, nice green day, couple of tests on previous high right there. Couldn't quite make it. This is bullish. Never closing. Wait, FNGU. Yeah, did not close the gap. So FNGU failed to close the gap there. So that's pretty bullish when the FNGU doesn't close the gap. And of course you got T2123, never closed its gap. That's bullish going into today. Now we'll look at our indicators, some of the other ones, and let's take a look at this. Okay, here's our economic calendar. Nothing happened yesterday. Not much is happening today. A little bit tomorrow. We got the petroleum status and PMI composite flash. The main event this week is going to be GDP at 8:30. And that's it. GDP 8:30 on Thursday. Jobless claims 8:30 on Thursday as well as international trade in goods at 8:30. Friday, pretty much a light day. Personal income and outlays and personal pending home sales. So we'll take a look at the earnings calendar for this morning, Tuesday. We got J&J is going to report this morning, almost $400 billion. Procter & Gamble, $350 billion. They're going to report this morning. Netflix, they're going to report this evening, $211 billion. Verizon's going to report this morning as well, $165 billion. Texas Instruments tonight, $150 billion. General Electric, $140 billion. They're going to report in the morning. And Intuitive Surgical, $131 billion. A lot of market cap reporting today. $131 billion. Intuitive Surgical reports tonight, and RTX and Lockheed both going to report in the morning. Both about $120 billion, $110 billion right there. So quite a bit of market cap's going to report today. Tomorrow, got some main event. We got Tesla's going to report in the evening, $663 billion. So in other words, over $500 billion. ASML, they're going to report in the morning. That's $300 billion. And SAP, $200 billion. Abbott Labs, about $200 billion. Internet, IBM, about $150 billion there. So a lot of market cap reporting tomorrow as well. Thursday, we got Visa's going to report. Intel, T-Mobile, Comcast, Union Pacific, some energy, and that's about it right there. Friday, American Express, and after that, it's pretty much a light day. But the main event is Wednesday. Tesla, with almost $500 billion, going to report in the evening, just before Thursday morning when we get the GDP. So we'll see what happens there. So I will take questions. Max Payne for today is 23rd. I don't know why they keep this on there again. 478 Max Payne. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that today, but we'll see what happens. All right. So that's it for this morning. And the U.S. dollar index, you can see there's the July low, the October high, the November failure to make a new high, came down to the 200, visited the major support, and now we're back at the 200. We spiked the 200 and we've spent 5-6 days here just consolidating in another bull flag pattern. Here's the first bull flag, breakout to the 200 right there, and then over to the right for some more consolidation. So this is bullish, but we still haven't broke this high right there. If we break that high, we're being an uptrend. So we'll see what happens. All right, so there's U.S. dollar index. All right, I'll take questions in the room. If you got any questions, if not, I'm going to render my video and shoot it out there for the world to see.